They built the buggies like a half a block from where I'm at right now, sitting. Across the street was the Patterson Manufacturing Company, which was the only black American-owned automobile manufacturing in America. Fred focused on building the automobiles. He knew that the buggies were a dying breed. Fred Patterson was kind of a car dealer too. He sold cars, and they were Fords and Model Ts, but that was in the later 20s.
The first car that my father had was a Patterson touring car. And we only used it on Sundays. And the family would all pile into it on Sundays and go for a ride in Dayton.
He was an engineer, naturally. I would call him an engineer, a pioneer, and he just worked on cars, and he would notice what they did. Now, he put leaf springs, he had a rotating rear end, he put electric start, he put electric lights on. Say around 1915, and this is when he first debuted his first car, September 26, 1950. They were about the third largest employer in this town. He made them from 1915 through 1919, and then he converted into buses and continued making buses and other utility type vehicles for other customers. C.R. Patterson's son, Fred, he was a well-dressed guy. He looked nice, and he was well-dressed. He would get an order, and he'd come back and say, hey, or call. He'd call. She'd say, he called, hey, we got an order, we got a bus ordered. Later in the years, he had to, when they converted over to the buses, he would go out and get some buses, but it was tough. She said it was tough getting the job to build a bus. Fred and Edward Lee McLean were very good. They were friends. He was a wealthy man. He got rich, I think, off of C.R. Patterson. He made a horse collar that went around the horse's neck, and he was a wealthy white man. When he died, he said, nobody's going to live in my house, tear it down. He ordered 5 or 6 buses, and he said, now look, I want them all dark green with gold leaf lettering. He helped fund Fred Patterson. It's funny that she'll say, yeah, when Edward Lee McLean died, our funding kind of stopped.
All I can tell you is that the only man that truly helped us was E.L. McLean.
For being a black family-owned business, they were very respected. She said one time she went to the movie theater, she sits down, has her leg out, and the usher comes up and said, ma'am, you're going to have to move. And she thought, well, what the hell, I'll just move my legs like this and move them in. She said, okay, and she moved them in, and then he come back down. He said, ma'am, you're going to have to move. She said, I moved my legs out of the hall. And he said, no, you got to move back to the collared section. She said, like hell I will. She said, you'll have a lawsuit on your ass bigger than shit if you put me back there. And she didn't move a bit. And they couldn't do anything about it. Patterson's definitely deserve recognition. It's just ironic that, him being the first black American-owned automobile manufacturer in the United States. There was none other. It was to just own his own business is a feat upon its own.